So hello everyone, Myrmonden here. We get my review of Darling In the Franxx episode 8, and I'm still laughing. Oh my god, this episode was amazing. It really was. I mean, sure, it had a little bit of storylines to talk about later, but as a fan service and comment, I just loved it. And first of all, of course, Zerotwo is best girl this year. I mean, this episode is very good in that sense because it really shows how no other girl is gonna be best girl this year. I mean, have you seen Zerotwo's episode? I just love that moment. She's in the bathroom and it's like, Zerotwo planned this. Turns out like, what do you do? He's like, stealing people's clothes. And I'm like, come on, battle me, boy. And it's like, Kochi, this is on life or death. Oh my god. That was so funny. The whole scene was amazing, right? I mean, the whole episode is just showing how awesome Zerotwo is, right? From right in the beginning, when they are like, all the girls, you know, they're angry, the boys saw them naked, right? Or half naked. And Zerotwo is standing there in the background like, yeah, I saw it. I like it. She's happy, right? Yeah. With the rest of them were like, you know, they feel, I don't know, violated or whatever, right? She's like, he saw my naked butt. Nice. It's gonna be better now, yeah. She just sees that like a positive, right, for relationship. He's like, yeah, nice. And of course, also the rest of them are standing in towels, so she's staying half nude, right? Look at those. So already there, you see her, right? In the whole episode, she just does not follow the rules, right? The other ones are doing the whole line thing, come that later in this review. But Zerotwo is like, nope, I will go and do my man. I don't care about you losers. She keeps doing that thing. And as soon as they're like, you better join us, she's like, okay, fine, I will join you in this fun. I have a plan. And of course, she's just toying with all the girls, right? Oh man, the episode was so funny. And it had really good fan service moments. But the comedy around this fan service was brilliant. I mean, I call it, my live video, I call it like the best fan service ever. But it really is one of the best fan service I've seen ever in my life. Seriously, I mean, I watched like, you know, a few hundred animes, probably a little more than that, maybe like, let's say 400 animes. There's a lot of fan service episodes every now and then in some animes, right? And of course, there are ecchi animes, right? So there's pure ecchi. But for anime like here, with this fan service, they usually, you know, they're kind of funny and so on, but this was really funny. I mean, it has so many good moments, with Zerotwo mainly, but also the other girls. For example, I really like that Mikko, the girl that goes hide, right? She's very tsundere, and her man, her boy, right? He's also like tsundere. They're both like, no, I don't want to talk with that guy. You know, there's a lot of those moments there. It's really funny in seeing how the relationship works and so on. But first of all, though, first of all, after this, Zerotwo best girl, yeah, Zerotwo best girl. Okay, next thing. I also really liked how this is a classic, like 80s or early 90s comedy, right? I mean, the whole drawing the white line there, that to me, it's very much like Step by Step, the Full House, if you've seen those like early 90s, late 80s comedy sitcoms, right? Like typical American TV shows, where, for example, in Step by Step, with Lambert, right? They take this huge house and the two different, parents, they get remarried, both of them get into this new marriage with like 3 kids each. They get another kid, spoiler, but yeah, they get 7 kids to the house. They also, of course, have his nephew living in his van and so on. So they're like 8 or so people in that house, right? And it's always like a lot of battles between sometimes between the girls and the boys, or sometimes between the different families, right? But you know, sometimes it goes by gender, sometimes it goes by family. And they have this also like, oh, this floor is our floor and so on, right? Yeah, it's very classic for those kind of old classic like sitcoms. So, so I love the whole premise there. They're like, well, we are a couple of people here, we live in this big house, like full house, right? And we're drawing a line here, like you can't pass it. Like, it's very classic. And it had, so in one way though, it had all the classic moments, right? I mean, it had the most, you've seen it before, I will say though. As like, oh, why do we have to clean the bathroom? Well, because we have the bathroom. Okay, fine, it's true. It's like, we can't eat. Well, no, because on their side it's the food. Like that's like very classic, right? The classic premises. This episode in American Dad, where they draw the line and then it just goes for years. They just like skip time and it's like they built the 2 different houses in the house. because Stan wants like a classic rustic house, and Fred was a modern house. So his side is like very classic cottage. Hers like a very top modern style of it. And then they divide the house with like a wall, and kids have to do the different whatever. It's a really good episode like that. So I mean, the whole premise is very classic, right? So I love that thing. It made the whole fan service kind of angle of it being more funnier because as soon as Zerotwo many broke it, but I think it worked really, really well. So I think it was absolutely the fun episode so far. 10 out of 10 comedy episode, easily. I think it's actually my favorite episode because it's really good. But it's really good. It's a 10 out of 10 like comedy and fan service. It's really, really funny. It's pure comedy gold. I mean, yes, it's sort of the fan service classic liquid that only burn clothes, but it gets really funny, and the best girl, of course, is really, really good. So there's a lot of that. Really, really funny episode, and the comedy was on point all the time, right? The dialogue is funny. And also managed, though, to sneak in a few other stuff, right? So that blev Kokoro, his name is like Mitsuru, right? Yeah. And they have this, like, the dialogue about plants and so on, which of course also relates to the whole piss-stealing statement. And then they also have the talk about the baby a little bit there. She also mentioned later babies, and the book is so his fifth sausage book and so on, right? So they're throwing that in there, which is good, because that's probably something, not kind of natural relationship thing, right? Because they're obviously not in the same team, and he might change partner then if they are better compatible. If they fall in love, maybe they won't at all. But so that's interesting. It's this other relationship more than just the classic triangle with like Ichigo, Hero, and of course Zerotwo. And they also have their own kind of thing going on the side there, right? So that's also interesting. And also, I would say this too, generally, I really liked how all the characters kind of were really, they're really character size. I think that's great. In the Moe type stuff, I think it was really great though. So, for example, when you see the girls naked, Kokoro's guy, I can't say his name, he's very gentle, right? He's like, oh, you look very beautiful, and you were very nice. Like, oh, don't tell me that. Like, yeah, he's kind of nice guy, you have a very fine butt, like, yeah, he defines that way. Where Sundere boy, right, he's more like, I mean, I didn't try looking at it, but because to me, he looks just kind of plain, but I mean, I saw what I saw, and it's kind of good, like, yeah, like that. I love that though. There was like really good scenes in the comedy that really like emphasize the characters, right? So, for example, then how she reacted to the compliments both from him, his partner, and from Mitsuru in the garden. They're both like, her reaction is similar, right? She's kind of like, oh, don't tell me that, she's a shy and embarrassed person, right? She easily gets embarrassed, or very shy at least, very introvert. And we, of course, Sundere girl is more like, oh, don't tell me I'm pretty, I'm sexy, hell yeah, like this, that, more that, right? So I think that's great as well there, how they kind of compromise the character chase and mix it around and so on. So anyway, last thing of course is the photo, which she finds, of course, later on there, going into one of those keep outdoors. That it's weird that the kids never opened it before. But yeah, so they find this thing, right? And it's dead people. She sees dead people, yeah. It's photos of dead kids, right? Very likely no one of them ever grew up to be adults. As the other stitches said, the parents know that, well, of course, you're gonna die. You're gonna fail in a mission and you're gonna die. And if anything, if Zerotwo wasn't there, they would have died years ago. Know what I mean? She has saved them like 5 times by so far, right? They've been horrible in every fight. I mean, they would have died easily without her. So yeah, she's right there. And I like that too. That it gives her character a lot of depth, actually, in my opinion at least. I think it does. I mean, maybe it's like sexual depth, and it might seem like, oh, it's pervy, but I actually think it makes the character really meaningful, because she's like, well, you girls should really go ahead and have sex, right? They're like, oh, Zerotwo, you're just a pervert. Like, no, go and fuck those guys. They're like, what? Why would you do that? You're really young teenage girls. She's like, well, you're gonna die probably next month, so you better go and have sex before you die, so you know how it feels. Like, I think that's a very interesting take on it, right? Because she's like, well, we're gonna die soon. You're gonna die, and this is like they're living in like this modern day, like, in this world that I'm living in here, right? That we are living in, where you can say that, oh, I'm gonna die in a month. Well, then I have to do this, this, and this, and this before I die. I wanna see this movie, I wanna go there, I wanna fly to this country, I wanna go to this whatever wonder or something, right? The world, so to speak, right? The people have the death list and death wishes, but in their case, they're kind of like, they're orphan kids. They're stuck in this like mad up world, right? With like a mad forest and a lake, and there's nothing to do really. They have almost no information, no books to read. They have no like TVs or whatever, right? they have no culture, I guess. They have nothing to do really. Like, you just kind of there's a bunch of teenagers stuck in a house, pretty much. Yeah, like Big Brother, right? And it's like, why don't we have sex? Because we're gonna die probably next month. So might as well try that hobby. It's kind of like that, and I actually really liked it, and it also really enforced. I think Zerotwo is a good character because she's like, she's trying to help the girls to be like, maybe you should try and have sex because what else can you do in this world? And it really is like that, yeah, because they are like a big, thinking about pretty good comparison. I'm thinking about you're kind of stuck in a big about a house, yeah. Where it's like the only thing you have is this house, and you can't leave this house. So you can leave the house and go to the lake, but you can't go anywhere else, yeah. Or otherwise you got to fight the machines on outside the lake. You just go out, fight robots, and go back again. So they're stuck in this house for the whole life. Right? She's like, and we have no books and so on. They have nothing to read really. They can't really get any beer. And even if they could read more books than they have, like she stole that book, they can read it once, right? So they don't really have any like hobbies they can do. They have like a ball, like soccer, but yeah, so they're very limited what they can experience in their lives, which is very poor, of course, for the Stafford characters. Probably why they're gonna break the whole papacy later on, right? Because it's horrible life to have. So her whole idea there, or one of her, is like, maybe we should try and do the sexual things, because what else can we do here? We only have our bodies pretty much. Yeah, we're stuck here, nothing else to do except eat, food, sleep, and probably do that thing. It makes a lot of sense that she's like, guys, you probably will die next month, so maybe you should try the only thing you can do further with your life here. So so I liked a lot actually with her, and also because it's good in that sense, also good in her personal life. She's like, I want to have sex with Hero because I like this guy, and I think he's gonna die probably eventually, and I probably can die any day now. So we might as well do it, right, and enjoy our life until we die. So I think her life perspective is also good in that sense. And also, again, that make her a better girl. It's the best girl, but really is. But anyway, the people that are dead, I don't know, that didn't mean so much for us, the viewer, honestly. I feel it's a good narrative point that they kind of grab, okay, we're gonna die. But otherwise, I think it was very clear for us viewers that, of course, they're gonna die. Or maybe not this case, but generally, the kids die, right? And we already knew that. So it was like a big surprise, really, for us, I think. This is pushing the narrative so the kids understand that they have to probably revolt to something against the papa, right? Because otherwise they will be abused and dead eventually. One thing I say though is that all those kids are really boring though. Classic anime, yeah, those kids are dead. They all have like the same hair color, same outfit, they're all neat and clean and so on. Our characters have like different hairs and they have different hair colors and they look much more livid, right? So that's a classic anime. Those are all nobodies. Yeah, they have nobody hair color, nobody costumes, like they're nobodies. Their mechas are probably black, yeah. And all the squad had black mechas. There's a new mechas, right? A unique mechas. Anyway, hope you liked this review, and I'll see you guys next week.